Testing. Okay. Let's take a breath. Now let's take a real one. Would you remind yourself that you don't have to believe anything that you hear today? Accept it, welcome it. No one's trying to convert you, change you, or anything like that. You know, if you haven't been able to do it for years, I'm certainly not going to be able to do it either. So I will not even begin to set that kind of challenge up for myself. So my curriculum is from the Course in Miracles is actually based on you not changing. How many of you all think you can pull off not changing much? Is that right? So it would make sense that those of us who don't change much or fast would have a curriculum that was designed exactly for us, specifically for us. Because an infinite creator would certainly have the intelligence enough for the truth to reach us the way we are. That would be like the definition of infinite intelligence, is that even we can't come up with a way for our happiness not to get to us permanently. Right. No matter how hard we might try sometimes, you know. And sometimes we try hardest to get rid of the happiness when we are happy. Yeah. You know, the Course calls it the pleasure-pain thing. You know, give yourself some pleasure, follow it up with some pain. Give yourself some pleasure, follow it up with some pain. Give yourself some pleasure, follow. Anybody familiar with that one? Yeah. You feel really good, then choose to make yourself feel really what you call bad. And I want to let go of that particular method of learning. And so the Course in Miracles is a great way to do that. And what I like to do is read the introduction to the Course in Miracles. Because I think every now and then it's good to remind ourselves what it really is. So this is the whole Course in Miracles in a few sentences. It says, introduction. This is a Course in Miracles. The Course in Miracles is a required course. Only the time you take the Course in Miracles is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. Free will doesn't mean you can establish the curriculum by which you really learn how to be really happy. Free will means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. The Course in Miracles does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, because the meaning of love is beyond what can be taught. This book is not about teaching me the meaning of love, because the meaning of love is beyond what can be taught. The Course in Miracles does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance, by the way, love's presence. The opposite of love is fear. But what is all-encompassing, love can have no opposite. Love can have no fear. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. I know y'all got some soul now. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. What you say? Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. That if it's real, it can't be threatened. If it's unreal, it doesn't exist no way. So, The Course in Miracles, it says a miracle is a correct perception. The Course says a miracle is a correct perception. So it's a course in correct perception. The Course defines a perception as an interpretation. So when you're perceiving something, you're just interpreting it, right? Based on your past learning. Like you're seeing me right now and you're interpreting who I am based on what? Your past learning, okay? So a correct perception is a miracle. So the Course in Miracles says if we have a correct perception, it's a freaking miracle. That's why it's called a Course in Miracles. Okay. Then it says, finally having correct perception is a required course. Only the time you take to learn how to see things correctly is voluntary. In other words, when you say you have free will, it doesn't mean you can establish the curriculum by which you're going to learn to truly be happy. When you hear the term, you have free will, we tend to mean, oh, it's just a free-for-all as far as me making up what it is I think is going to make me happy. And the Course is saying, no, free will just means that you can decide how much you want to learn about how to be happy for real whenever you want to. So your free will just means you can decide how much you want to learn or change or grow. It just means you can decide how much of it you want to do. Like if I've used this example often. If I went to college to be a lawyer, they tell me what I need to take to become a lawyer. I don't go to college and tell them what I'm going to take in order to become a lawyer. I only have free will as far as me being able to decide what semester I want to take, how big of a load I want to take, how much I want to learn to become a lawyer. So my free will is only being used to determine how much of this I want to do at any given time. So free will is only you deciding how much you are willing to do of your own divine plan whenever you feel like it. There's a divine plan for each and every one of us. The Creator's will for us is complete happiness. Yeah. We may have grown up in different religions or belief systems that told us that the Creator was something fearful, that it was some being outside of ourselves, and we might have heard a lot of crazy stuff as children that didn't work for us. Okay? But we might have thrown out the whole idea of the Creator with the fearful concepts that we learned. So the Course in Miracles, first and foremost, is about healing your sense of being separate or disconnected from the infinite intelligence, the infinite love that created you. I'll say that one more time. There's an infinite intelligence and infinite love that created us. We did not create ourselves. We did not create ourselves. So the Course is saying to us, the problem that we're having is that we have lost a conscious awareness of that connection to Source. And so now we're busy trying to figure it all out and not being too successful at it consistently. If we would be completely honest with ourselves. You don't have to be, So it's saying, and the Creator is love. So love is the Creator. Love is, it's the same thing. So you could reduce everything that the Course in Miracles is teaching in case you may have a hard time with the Christian terminology. The Course in Miracles is only talking about love or fear. So you could so in other words, let me show you, give you an example. This is a good way to do it. This is a course in love. The Course in Love is a required course. Only the time you take the Course in Love is voluntary. Free will doesn't mean that you can establish curriculum. It means that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. The Course doesn't aim at teaching you the meaning of love, for the meaning of love is beyond what can be taught. The Course does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love. You are juicy. And you're cute. And you are complete love. Yeah. And you are free. And you're powerful. And you are abundant. And there's nothing, which is even more powerful than nothing. All right. Let's step it up a notch now. and nothing can change that. You are completely abundant. Loving relationships should be your natural state. The question becomes, why in the heck am I not experiencing it then? Well, the Course calls that a block to your awareness of the presence of it. So it's there. You just have a few blocks that's keeping you from recognizing that the love and abundance is already there. All right? And then it goes on to say, not only is it already there, it's your natural inheritance to experience abundance and love and peace and joy and freedom and truth. It's your inheritance. It's like a child, who receives an inheritance from a wealthy parent. They didn't work for it. It was a gift. And how many of you have ever experienced a gift of any type? Raise your hand.
Sure.
Okay, so that is proof positive that you can receive things you didn't work for.
Oh, yeah.
So let go of this idea that the only way you can receive something wonderful is that you have to work for it.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you believe that way, that's the only way you're going to let things come to you, is through working for it. There's another level of consciousness that's called gifting. Allowing yourself to be gifted. And you have already been gifted. You've been gifted with everything. You just have I say you, but I'm talking, you know, Earl, you know this is totally for you, right? Are we clear about that? Because I'm tired of your stuff. And I'm just here to just straighten you out, buddy. So, you know, see, that's me. So you have to talk to me in the class too, you know. So when I listen back to it, I can really get the lesson.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm sick of letting go, having blocks to the awareness of love and abundance in my life. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of it.
Sick of it.
Tired of it.
Tired.
And there's no good reason for it.
No.
I just learned some crazy stuff that I still believe about myself from a past that doesn't even exist anymore. And just when I'm about to forget this crazy stuff about myself, I form relationships that remind me of it. To make sure that I never let go of the idea that I'm not enough in some way. But now I'm forming, through the spirit in me, relationships that the people and the situations absolutely refuse to let me think less of myself. In these relationships, everybody wants everyone to feel innocent and loved and connected and safe. So I'm experiencing relationships that at one time in my life seemed like dreams or fantasies to even believe that it was possible to have those type of nurturing relationships. It looks like people around me changed. But the funny thing about it, it looked like it didn't happen until I did. So I think it's some connection. I'm working on that. Our relationships might have something to do with me. Just keep that between you and the rest of the folk in the whole world that might watch this. So the Course says that I'm not going to even try to teach you the meaning of love, because nobody can teach you the meaning of love. The Course in Miracles says I'm going to teach you what love is not. And by teaching you what love is not, I'm going to teach you what love is by teaching it what it's not. What it's not is everything you've ever experienced in the past your whole life. Are we clear about that specifically? Everything. There's nothing that we've ever experienced in this plane that's truly a reflection of real love yet, because real love has absolutely no conditions on it whatsoever, demands no sacrifice whatsoever, is consistent, never dips, never ends, always there, no matter what. You can count on it. Even death can't stop it. So I'm not going to be so presumptuous to think I've experienced that in human relationships. I haven't. Anybody else? Sounds kind of silent. So that simply means we've all had the same experience. Yeah. It doesn't mean we're guilty. It just means we've all had the same experience. So it says, well, love is not fear. Love is not guilt. Love is not anger. Love is not lack. Love is not sickness. Love is not jealousy. Love is not possessiveness. Love is not attack. Love is not lack. Love is not temporary. Love is not special. Kind of explains all the changes I've been through. What about you, Bunny Parker? You know what I'm saying?
No, I do. You know.
Absolutely. So now I can see what it really is, because I can see what it really isn't.
Yeah.
But since I don't know how to do unconditional love that has none of that stuff in it, what I've done is made up my own version of love that can contain that. And so I'll say love contains fear. And there is some guilt in love. And that I'm so angry with you because I love you so much. I'm feeling jealous because I want you. And I love you. You know what I'm saying? So the Course in Miracles says what we did was we just made up our own version of it because that's the best we could do. But what that did was created a situation that now we can't tell the difference. So now we don't know when we're entering a really loving relationship or when we're entering a relationship in which we're going to get a restraining order out on someone. Because I don't know about you, but every relationship that I've ever had that's ever been special, that's ever ended, there's less communication with those people than the people I never got into special love relationships with. Right? And I think it's ironic that the person that I made undying declarations of love to, and they made undying declarations of love to me, we're the ones that avoid each other in King Super. The very same person. The very same person. But the person I didn't get into that kind of relationship with is usually the person that I can still see anywhere, talk to anywhere, hang out with anywhere. The Course says something that still, every time I hear it, I go, ooh, it says, you know, that what is love never changes. That if it's real love, it never changes. Even if the form of the relationship changes, the love you feel for each other would never change. If your bodies were no longer going to be together for whatever reason, and you're ready to change the form of the relationship, and maybe it needs to make some kind of shift, you would do all of that, but the love would never change. You would love them just as much as when they were with you in the form that you thought you wanted it in. If it's love, it never changes. Doesn't necessarily mean that your bodies are going to always be together, but the way you feel about each other will be the same. You will only want each other's happiness, even if it's not with your bodies together. As a matter of fact, that's probably how y'all will really finally be happy. That you nowhere near each other, but sometimes it's hard for people to take.
Yeah.
So it then says that, so tell yourself right now, it's your natural inheritance to be loved. Love is your natural inheritance. Abundance is your natural inheritance. You should be abundant naturally. It shouldn't be something you're struggling for. And then it tells us that, and this is the part that got me, the opposite of love is fear. So whenever I'm feeling afraid, I would say to myself, I'm feeling the opposite of love right now. What's happening today? Well, today I've been feeling the opposite of love ever since I got up this morning. I'm feeling the opposite from love around my financial situation right now. I'm feeling the opposite of love around some issues around my body right now. I'm feeling some opposite of love about whether or not I might be laid off on my job. If you were to start using new interpretations of the things you say all the time, it would transform your consciousness and you would wake up to your abundance. In other words, it's old hat to say, I'm afraid of relationships. It would be new hat to say, I experience the opposite of love in relationships. I'm feeling some fear about you means I'm feeling some opposite of love about you. Can I have a little conversation with you right now? Yeah, come on over here. I don't know how to break this to you, but I'm feeling a lot of opposite of love around you right now. And I don't want to feel opposite to love around you right now. How do I know I feel opposite to love around you? I almost ran you down on Colfax Avenue. That is my hint. I'm feeling less than love. Let's talk about it. Let's go beyond it. Yeah, but if I just say, I'm afraid of you, okay, that's cool. I'm feeling the opposite of peace with you. I'm feeling the opposite of joy with you. I'm feeling the opposite of fun with you. I'm feeling the opposite of inspired with you. I'm feeling the opposite of freedom with you. See the difference? Yeah, the Course in Miracles is like that all the way through the book. It gives you new interpretations of terms you always use to free you from these ancient meanings that are blocking your joy. That's deep. The only thing that's keeping the kind of relationships that I want from coming into my life are the blocks I have to the awareness of them. The thing that you recognize as you begin to wake up more on your spiritual path is that everything you've ever wanted has always been right in your face, but you didn't even see it. That's the first thing you begin to understand, that it was always there, you just didn't love yourself enough to see it. Which is good. I'd much rather wake up to what's already there than to wake up and to have to try to make it there. You know what I'm saying? I like to be sleeping in a luxury suite, imagining that I'm in a cave, than to actually wake up in the cave trying to get out of it. So the Course is saying it that way. You're already in the luxury suite, fast asleep, having a nightmare of not being able to pay your bills, or having a nightmare of having a lousy sex life, having a nightmare of not having enough substance. You see what I'm saying? That you are just asleep to the good that's already there, but you don't know it because you're asleep.
Oh dear.
All right. So as you wake up to the truth, you're going to see that a lot of the people in you that you love around you who are parts of you are asleep. They're still judging, they're still blaming, they're still projecting, they're still seeing themselves as victims, they're still seeing everybody is different from them, they still are conscious of race, they're still conscious of ethnic group, they're still conscious of the thought that everything in the world is happening to them, and they are a victim of it, and they really believe that the government and the president are going to save them. They really believe it, and they're mad because they're not doing a good enough job of saving them. So we switch back and forth between the parties instead of realizing that it's time to have a party. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm amazed at the things that come through my body.
Party time!
Party time! You know, I remember the first time I saw the Holy Spirit said, "What's up?" It's time to have fun. Roz, I'm going to laugh at all your problems all the time. That's how I'm going to hear you. That's what my spiritual guys tell me. You tell me a really heartbreaking problem you got, and we guarantee we'll laugh at it. We'll laugh at your problems until they go away, because the way we help your problems go away from a higher plane is we never take them seriously, we never make them real, and we never see them as really being the truth about you. So anybody that's your savior will never join you in your pain, ever. They will always show you the way you could be if you just get off it. Like you all miserable and they'll be like, "Yeah, what's up?" Go ahead, share what you're going through right now. I want you to share what you're going through right now. Now, I'm going to help you by not trying to fix you, not trying to correct you, just sitting here holding space for you, remembering that you're innocent no matter what you're going through, that you're not alone, that you're more than a body, you're a spiritual being, you're an infinite creator, you create through your thoughts, you can change everything by just changing your mind, so go ahead, have at it, complain about your mama. That's what a conscious being does. A conscious being doesn't go, "Don't say that, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that, that's negative, you're going to create that, blah, 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 blah." No, a conscious being has enough faith in you to know that you're stronger than anything you're saying. And who you really are is going to shine through you no matter what you're telling yourself. And they're remembering for you how beautiful you are while you think you're ugly in some way. Your savior just holds space.
Yeah.
They don't try to fix you. The people I value the most are the ones I can share what I'm going through with, and they just friggin' listen. Don't try to quote something back to me. Don't go, "Earl, I can't believe you've been studying the Course this long and you still feel like this." Oh, that made me feel a lot better. Oh, that just really, thank you. I'm so glad I talked to you. Don't you just wish you could do some people like you can do your instant messengers and stuff, just block them? Yeah. You can. You can. So then it goes on to say, so now when I'm afraid of somebody, I know it's not loving them. I know when I'm afraid of somebody, I'm not loving them. What I used to say, I was afraid of somebody and I really loved them. What I do is I say, I'm feeling fear right now, not love. I don't go, I'm feeling all this fear because I love you. No, I would say, I'm feeling all this fear because I don't love you. Because the love isn't coming through right now. It's blocked. It's there, but it's blocked. It exists, but it's blocked. But I wouldn't dare say my fear was in my love, because then I won't be able to tell the difference between love and fear, and I won't know when I'm being treated right. I won't know if I'm moving into the right kind of relationship, because I don't know the difference between when somebody loves me and when I don't. So I need to learn how to tell from the beginning.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Wouldn't it? Rather than trying to learn as you go.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of trying to learn as I go. You know, the Spirit told me, hey, Earl, I don't want to tell you this, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There is already a way that you could just listen and learn and go beyond all that pain without having to experience it if you would just listen. I said, really? Yeah, just listen. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you, it's a line in the Course, it says, I will tell you what to do and do it for you.
Wow.
It's like your mama saying, wash the dishes, I'll go do it. Go out there and wash the car, I'll go do it. I'll tell you what to do and I'll do it for you. You need to be more consistent in your focus on the truth. Spirit says, well, I'll be consistent on my focus of the truth for you. I will give you the results of my learning. I've already learned how to drive. You don't know how to drive. I'm going to give you the results of my learning by driving you. So you can have things done for you. Begin to believe that things can be done for you. Begin to believe that things can be done for you. That you can receive gifts of love, gifts of abundance, gifts of joy, gifts of peace, gifts of the right career, gifts of the right relationship, the gift of it. Because we create what we believe, and so you don't make an idea stronger until you start sharing it. And so I like to use my Course in Miracles class really as an opportunity to hear the ideas, reinforce the ideas, and share the ideas so that the ideas can become strong enough to manifest. That's why I don't do a whole lot of discussion. Because I don't really want to hear what everybody's story is, and nobody else wants to really hear your story either. To be perfectly honest, we all got stories. So, it's not about hearing your story or hearing my opinion or anything like that. You kind of have to hear mine, because that's the thing. I set the class up, so that's what I can just make sure I can say. But you don't have to believe it. So we cool, right? Yeah. So my point in saying this is that if it is real, it can not be threatened. If you have a real relationship with somebody, nobody can threaten it. I would never enter into a special relationship where the person I was entering a special relationship with told me I had to not love somebody else. You cannot love her anymore. You cannot love him anymore. You cannot see them anymore. You cannot see, no. No love would never tell me to exclude what I love and what loves me from my life. But fear would. Fear needs all kinds of limits. Fear needs all kinds of limitation. Because when you're afraid, the whole thing is based on limiting people in some way for your purposes. Now, would I condemn a person that's doing that? No, that would be to condemn myself, because I do it and I have done it. What I wouldn't do is get in a special love relationship with that person and pray that they meet the person that meets the limitations and conditions that they need in order for them to feel peace. Because unless they meet someone that meets those conditions, they will not relax enough to let themselves experience love, because they need those agreements to let themselves feel love. So it's not condemning them at all. Because you said what your condition is for you to open your heart a little more. You feel like you can't have lunch with your old girlfriend. If you do that, you're not going to get any tonight.
Sounds like you've experienced that.
Let's see. I've been really fortunate, Bonnie. Ever since I was in high school, I knew that loving only one person was an insane premise. So I always attracted people who respected my freedom and I respected theirs.
Cool.
Because some people know that when you talk about loving everybody, you're not talking about having sex with everybody. But most people who are fearful hopelessly confuse the two. So as soon as you say loving everybody, they think about what you're going to do with somebody else's body.
Yeah.
Because they've allowed the body to become the symbol of love, and so therefore lost any idea of what love really is. So then you love me based on what you do with your body or what you don't do with your body, because you don't really know what love is. You know, love is eternal. The body isn't. So there is no way that love and the body are the same thing.
Yeah.
Love doesn't end, bodies do. So the idea that the body and love are in any way connected other than you allowing your body to be used for love to be communicated and to come through is the real use of a body. Like, in other words, me sitting up here letting my body be used to remind you of your gifts, that's the correct use of a body. It's using the body to allow more peace and love to come into your experience. That's what the body is meant to be used for. But I have used my body to try to limit other bodies for my own personal purposes because I felt so insecure. I needed the validation of their 100% attention in order for me to feel like I was okay.
Yeah.
So I imprisoned people in the name of love and sometimes took them to the movie. We would go to good movies when they were out on leave. So whatever agreements you need to have in order for you to feel peace in a relationship, you must own up to those agreements, be true to those agreements, honor those agreements, and don't make yourself feel guilty about that agreement. Now, what's the surefire way that you know you're not serious about the agreement that you've made in a special relationship? You are not at peace, and you would choose someone who's just the opposite of what gives you peace.
Yes.
You would be the person who wants to be monogamous with the person who wants to be polyamorous. You'll be the person who wants unlimited spiritual growth in your relationship with the person who wants, none whatsoever and condemns you as soon as you even mention it. If you're in a situation where your partner appears to be the opposite to you, then they are just giving you an opportunity to practice choosing for peace within yourself and not looking for somebody else outside of you to make you happy. And those can be kind of challenging lessons because they're teaching you that you can't make your happiness dependent on me changing because I ain't. So if you really want to be happy, you better make a decision within yourself because I'm not changing for you.
Oh my God.
Which is that person's way of saying, I accept myself. Freaks us out because they're telling us, I'm sorry, I accept myself. And since I accept myself the way I am and I'm pretty much cool with the way I am, I'm not changing for you. You're selfish. No, you're selfish for wanting me to change for you. What's more selfish than that? You want me to stop being who I am to please you. And you're the one that's selfish. No, I'm not. Because we all know that if it's love, you sacrifice. We all know if it's love, you give up what you want for the other person. Which is nothing but what creates resentment. The resentment gets to the point that they want to get away from your butt. And so you all start to unconsciously do things to create separation between you. And it's all based on you doing what you don't want to do with each other all the time. But since nobody's willing to own any responsibility for what's going on, then you've got to pretend it's the other person that's causing it. And it's their fault. And the dance goes on. And the dance goes on. And sometimes we change dance partners. But doing the tango with you is going to basically be the same as doing the tango with you, which is going to be the same as doing the tango with you. So if I really want to do a different dance, I don't keep changing partners, I change dances. Most people keep changing partners, but they keep the same pitiful dance going. I'm just doing the pitiful dance with the wrong person. So let me get rid of this person and do the pitiful dance with you. What's the pitiful dance? The dance of fear, the dance of guilt, the dance of control, the dance of anger, the dance of boredom, the dance of control, the dance of sacrifice. Let me go do that dance with a new person. Who's the perfect person? The perfect person is the one who has sacrificed for me as much as I sacrifice for them. The perfect person is the one who limits me the way I limit them. The perfect person is the one who tries to act out my script like I try to act out their script. The perfect person is the one that gives me what I really want. And whoever I'm with, if they're giving me what I really want, no matter what I say I want, I'm getting what I really want. But that's what you're getting in all of your relationships right now. What you really think you deserve. So how do I change that? Well, you set the goal without trying to establish the curriculum. You say you want a new way of looking at things and be intelligent enough to know you don't know what that way is, or you wouldn't be going through the stuff you're going through right now. What would you do? You would resign as your own teacher. Which you would surely do if you honestly assess the results of what you taught yourself. If you just be honest with yourself for a minute, you'll probably go, I do need to resign right now. Because the Course says we sell ourselves short because we think temporary joy is the real deal, or temporary happiness is the real deal, or happiness that comes and goes with different situations, people, and circumstances. That's the real deal. It says we're so far away from our real state of permanent joy that now we think it's normal to be happy and sad, painful and in joy, rich and in other words, it says we've made up this whole world of reality, of polarity, duality, because we've lost sight of the truth of who we really are. How do we know we've lost sight of the truth of who we really are? Because of the way you feel. Are you feeling peace? Or are you feeling conflict? Are you feeling love right now? Or are you feeling joy? Because you know how you feel, and you can convince yourself of anything you want to, because you can tell yourself anything, but you know how you feel, and you know whether you're feeling inspired, joyful, free, alive, unafraid. You know. Everyone in here knows. And if it's real, nothing can threaten it. If I got a real love, nothing can threaten it. If I got a real prosperity consciousness, nothing can threaten it. If it's real, it can't be threatened. If it's unreal, it doesn't exist anyway, and so anything can destroy it, anything can end it, and that's why when you're in a relationship and either one of you no longer want it, you can't keep it. Because it takes two to make a decision powerful. It's what the Course in Miracles taught me. It says, well, you know why your decisions haven't been as powerful as you like them to be, Earl? Why? Because any decision that you make by yourself has no power. A decision or a choice doesn't have any power until you join with something, whether you join with love or God, or whether you join with fear or anger. You got to join with something for something to happen. You know that's the way it works because that's how you got here. Because something joined. Everything that's ever happened has been because something joined. And you all are teaching yourselves to be autonomous and self-sufficient, and that's why you work so friggin' hard, because you have given yourself this atheistic belief that you are by yourself and you got to do it on your own, and that's why you suffer. Not because the universe is punishing you or God is punishing you, it's just because you're following the wrong guide.
Yeah.
Which is your fearful mind, which is the part of your mind that doesn't know a darn thing, but is trying to figure it all out. The part of you that's trying to figure it all out is the last part of you that you should be going to for guidance. You know it don't know because it's trying to figure it out. It's not like really hard. This isn't really deep, y'all. Now, when people are listening to what I'm saying, they're having either two reactions. Either they're feeling fear and defensiveness, or they're feeling But the thing that make your little butt muscles clench up the most, that's the thing that probably applies to you the most that you don't want to admit to yourself. So when I said that stuff about special relationships, if that's the main way you're deceiving yourself, you probably felt some defensiveness come up. Because that's your favorite way of keeping you from the joy. And so I pride myself in starting out the class light. So that was a very light opening. Any questions about anything I said?
Well, Earl, today has been a godsend. Oh my God. Just real quickly, my dad is one of those people that doesn't bring me peace. And when you said that there's people in our lives that help us show that we need to find that peace within ourselves.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh my God. That just hit me right here. Because yeah, he's a lesson for me that I'm still trying to seek my peace through him.
Exactly. And the universe will never help you seek your peace through him. That's why in situations where you want someone or you want something in order to make yourself happy, that sometimes it seems like that's the main thing that eludes you, and you wonder why. It eludes you because if the universe gave you the thing outside yourself that you thought made you happy, it would reinforce your belief that your happiness lies outside of yourself. So that's why the thing you're most attached to is the thing that usually doesn't show up. Because that would be the thing that would most deceive you about where your real happiness and love is located. So most people use their special relationships to hide love. They don't use it to get love. In other words, they make that other person the symbol of their love, and so they're even more convincing themselves that their love is outside of themselves. So they're actually using the person to lose awareness of the divine love within themselves. That person is actually taking them more away from themselves than toward themselves. Because they're using them to forget that they don't need them in order to be happy. It should be two complete people coming together to share their completion. It should not be two incomplete people hoping to fill up each other's missing half. Because in relationships like that, the two people involved are going to work really, really hard because they're not getting any help from the universe. That's why they struggle so hard. You know, because nothing is really condoning their relationship, because their relationship isn't based on anything real, because it's based on two incomplete people looking for validation through each other, and they can't really give validation to each other because they haven't even given validation to themselves. Because you can't give what you don't have. I can't give you love that I don't have. I can't give you completion I don't have. So if I don't have any sense of completion and love within myself, I don't have anything to get from you. But what I'm going to do is steal from you. I'm going to try to snatch yourself that I see as being a better self to replace this lousy self that I think I am. Then I'm going to feel guilty because I'm receiving everything from you and I'm just giving you me. So how fair is that? You know, I'm this pitiful person who don't trust themselves, don't think they're cute, don't think they're desirable, don't think they're smart, don't think they're enough, and I'm out here looking for somebody to love me. That's cruel right there. That's cruel right there. The fact you want to give somebody you when you know you're not loving yourself yet, when you know you're not complete and whole within yourself yet. Everybody that I know that's ever attracted a relationship that was right for them and pleasing for them have always said one thing in common that I noticed. They always said the perfect relationship that they're in, and I do know people that are in very loving, happy relationships. They always said two things. It showed up when they were not expecting it, and they didn't care if it showed up because they were already having a pretty good time and a lot of pretty good peace in their life. And if you be honest, that's probably when it always shows up for you, when you least expect it and when you're not obsessed about it. And when you look at the things that you wanted that you've been obsessed about, those are the things I bet you're still hoping you get. Like most people are obsessed with money in the belief that money is ultimately going to be the thing that makes them happy. So it's not surprising that that's the one thing that most people claim they don't have. Because the universe isn't going to help them believe that money is their God. Why would God help you believe money is your God? Why would the Creator help you believe that the person is your God? Why would the Creator help you believe that your job is your God? Why would the Creator help you believe your own ego is the God? That's why we struggle. The struggle comes from believing we are alone and separate and on our own and trying to do it on our own. Don't you think the universe knows what would be the perfect relationship for you right now if you want a relationship? Do you really think you're so special that there's no one on the planet that you could be with that would be peaceful for you? Are you that friggin' special? Yeah, you're that special if you're afraid of intimacy. Yeah, you're that special if you really don't want it. Yeah, you're that special if you don't love yourself yet. I love the idea that some people choose to have one person that they focus their attention on above anybody else. Because then they get a chance to practice what real love is, at least with one person. At least they're getting the whole thing started. You know what I'm saying? It's like, You know, it's like this idea that you can love everybody, but you can't get along with one person means you're in denial. I don't know how to bring it to you, but if you can't even have one peaceful relationship with one person, I don't believe it when you say you love everybody. You don't love everybody. How do you know? You can't even love one person. Oh. Yeah, that's right. That's pretty obvious. Yes, it is pretty obvious. The truth is obvious. The truth is obvious. The truth is obvious. If I'm not communicating with you, if I'm afraid to share my thoughts with you, if I'm afraid to share with you what's really going on with me, then I am afraid of you, and I'm afraid of loss with you. That isn't love. So wherever I have private thoughts, the most is where I have the most fear. And the relationship that I'm most afraid to share my thoughts and feelings in is the relationship that's most unreal. But that's usually with the most special person. That's the irony of it.
Wow.
It's usually the most special person that's the last one to know what's really going on. If it's something that's frightening you, you talk to all your friends first. In most cases, you're talking to them about how to talk to the person that's the most special one. Who you're supposed to love so completely that y'all love each other above anyone. But why am I having to get advice from everybody else about how to even break this to you? Because it's fear, not love.
Oh my God.
So, how do I get to the love? I get to the love by recognizing the fear and then asking for another way to look at it, asking for another approach to it, asking for another way to think about it, another way to look at it. That's where you start if you want to get past the block to the reality. You ask questions of the universe. You ask questions of spirit. You say, Spirit, what would it take for me to let go of the fear I have of communicating to this person that's most special to me in ways beyond my wildest imagination, through God, through truth? You ask questions. You ask questions to get out of blocks in limited situations. You don't draw conclusions when you want to change and heal. You ask questions when you want to change and heal. So the more you're making conclusionary statements, the less you want the situation to be solved. If you're asking questions, what would it take for me to have a great Father's Day today in ways beyond my wildest imagination? What would it take for me to have relationships that are peaceful with me beyond my... What would it take for me to know my abundance? You ask questions when you're serious about a change. You judge when you're not. You think you already know when you're not serious about a healing. And you judge when you're not serious about a healing. It doesn't even occur. As a matter of fact, you can be in a miserable situation and you're still clinging to the idea that your way of looking at it is right, even though your misery should be all the evidence you need that your way of looking at it sucks. It's amazing how many miserable people want to tell you what happiness is when they're showing you what it's not. Most of the people you just look at and say, if I want to be happy, I don't need to be like you. And if I want to be happy, I don't need to look at it like you. If I want to be happy, I need to not look at it like you. If I want to have prosperity, I need to not look at money like you do. People are here showing us as much what not to do to have what we want as they're showing us what to do to have what we want. And we don't condemn either one of them because both of them are great teachers. And keeping us from having to go through the experience that they're going through. We just listen, observe, not think we're so different that it doesn't apply to us because I'm so different. I know that person I'm just starting to go out with is completely judging, criticizing, and condemning their last relationship, but I'm so special, they wouldn't do that with me. See, that's how your specialness gets you. See, that's how your difference gets you. I hear them dogging the person out they used to be with, but they would never do that with me. I know they said that they were going to be with that other person forever, but now they're sitting here with me. But with me, they're going to actually do it forever because I'm special. How do you know they haven't changed? Because they're not taking any responsibility for what happened in the last relationship. And if they're not taking any responsibility for what happened in the last relationship, they're not going to take any responsibility for what happens with you in y'all's relationship. That means they have some imagined need that you're supposed to fulfill to make up for what they didn't receive in the last relationship. They're going to get it with you, and so they're looking for you to fulfill an imagined need. That if they are the average person, they're not going to even tell you what the need is. And then they're going to judge you for not fulfilling the need that you never even heard about. And now they're mad at you. Of course, the Miracle says, these are totally insane relationships. And when you're conscious, you will not enter them. What is vision? Vision is recognizing the consequences of your actions before you take them. I'm talking to someone, they tell me about they were stalking their old boyfriend last week. Then I should have vision enough to know they might stalk me.
Oh no.
But I know it was the butt. The butt? Yeah. I have been attracted to people based on special body parts. I have. Anybody else? Didn't even know one single thing about how the person thought. You saw their body and went, all right. I'm ready for you. I'm wide open, so to speak. Because of your eyes. I remember having, when I was in high school especially, it must have been pretty eyes then. I used to have a lot of girls, so I like your eyes. I want your eyes. I'm like, damn, okay, here they are. I could have been a serial killer, but I had good looking eyes. That's all that really mattered. So keep in mind that as you wake up, content becomes more important than form. The mind, the way the person thinks and looks at things, begins to have kind of some importance, a priority to you as you wake up, because you know that when you join with the person in a relationship of any kind, what you're saying to that person is, I am willing to experience the effects of your thinking with you.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's what you're saying. Anytime you say you're joining in a partnership, business partnership, romantic partnership, you're saying, I'm joining with you. It's just like if we both join inside of a car and you're driving, then I'm agreeing to experience the effects of your driving with you. So if you run into a tree, I'm going to have to experience the effects of that too. And that's exactly what happens when you say you're going to enter a relationship. It's more than I'm getting a chance to join with this body. The body is just there to draw you to the person, in most cases, to get the lesson that you've chosen to learn with each other.
Right.
The Course calls the body bait. And when I first saw that, I went, whoa, that's deep.
Whoa.
I go, yeah, he said, that's your beat. You get upset with your body when you get older because your bait's not up to snuff anymore. And I've been thinking about that lately. My old bait ain't what it used to be. So I'm on the lookout for people who want content. The older I get, the more important content love gets. When I was 20, who cared about my mind? I didn't care about if they had a mind. Matter of fact, I was hoping she didn't have a mind. That was what was more preferable when I was in my 20s. No mind. Just had that body. No mind. And pretty much that's all it takes. Y'all know I'm talking the truth. You all know everything I'm saying is the truth. That's what makes it a truth class, because we know in this class we talk about how it is. We don't talk in abstract, metaphysical ways that most of these kind of classes do, which are great. Don't get me wrong. They can be very, But the truth is, I'm trying to make sure that I can practice love and peace in my day-to-day reality out there as I see it. Because I don't live in this room. So if I can't make it real out there, this doesn't mean anything to me. So I ask for God's help as much for a parking space as a major health issue. Because the Course in Miracles says there are no hierarchies of illusion. There is no one illusion that's more important than another one. It's all, just take everything to spirit, because you are rich and powerful and you deserve love and you honor yourself, and you need agreements and you need boundaries and you need limits. You love yourself enough to make sure that you admit that to yourself and you share it with the person that you want to enter in any kind of relationship with, and you don't feel guilty about that, and don't accept anything less, or you won't be able to feel the safety that will allow your heart to open up, that will get rid of the fear that makes you want the boundary in the first place.
Wow. Yeah. Woo.
And unless you honor the agreements and the boundaries and the limits that you feel like you need in order to feel safe, you'll never get to the point that you feel safe enough to begin to let the boundaries go. So if you pretend you're ready for a kind of relationship that you know you're not ready for, or you pretend you can handle something you know you can't handle. You're actually increasing your fear and defeating your goal of ever really knowing love within you, because you'll never feel like you're surrounded by someone you can really be yourself with and they're going to be there with you. Because you can always renegotiate a boundary. You can always renegotiate a limit. You can always go, you know, I used to need that limit, but now I don't feel like I need that limit so much anymore. So don't worry about it if you think you need limits right now in some way. But those of you who don't need certain limits in relationships, don't you feel guilty because you want to do it differently from people who still need those limits. Because it's not about the form, it's about the content. And in both situations, you're just wanting love.
Amen.
You just want to give and receive love. That's it. That's all you deserve. That's all you are. That's the truth about you. Whether you believe it or not, I don't care. My job is to see it for you, even if you don't see it for yourself, and therefore see it in myself because I see it in you. I don't need your cooperation. It makes it go faster. I'm waking up faster than ever because I don't try to get anyone else to necessarily agree with me for me to do what I need to do. So now I'm moving really fast in my path because I know all of you are powerful beings. I believe all of you are creating your reality. I don't believe any of you are victims. I believe all of you are connected to source. Now, whether you believe it or not isn't important. It's just important that I believe it for me and to apply it to you. I'm going to treat you the way I'd like to be treated. That's what I'm going to do, regardless of how you feel about me. It doesn't matter, because if you don't like me, you're not going to come around me anyway. And someone who doesn't like me, not coming around me, is not a sad thing. It's a beautiful thing. So if people come to my class and they don't like me and they don't come back, I want to send them thank you cards. Like an e-card from Blue Mountain or something. You know what I'm saying? Because the person that doesn't love you is the person who doesn't treat you right or doesn't appreciate you or see your beauty. And they stick around and make sure that no one else that loves you can get to you. That's cruel.
That's cruel.
And you don't deserve that. You deserve love now. And that's what I want to come through me to you. I can't create it. I can't source it. But I can try to get out the way so the love of God can come through me to you. And therefore back to me. More than I could have possibly imagined. Which is what is happening in my life to the point that is bringing up everything inside of me that's unlike love that needs to be released.
Wow.
So everything in me that's been hidden under the rocks of my own psychological structure is now up for me. But because I've studied this, I wasn't not expecting it. I know what to do about it. And me admitting that I have any fear that's coming up, it's not asking for anyone to send me advice about how to deal with it. It doesn't mean I've forgotten the truth, because I'm being honest with myself about how I feel. And many people who are scared of their own feelings, they feel very threatened when you say you feel afraid, or when you say something is coming up for you, because they're so busy trying to pretend that they're not afraid that you're saying you are reminds them of what they're trying to pretend they don't feel, and they don't like it, and then they try to correct you as if they don't have that problem themselves. Oh, really? You afraid? Well, let me tell you what to do. Let them talk. Let your friends talk. Let them vent. Let them share. Let them see that it's safe for them to feel however they feel. That's allowing them to be in the presence of love. And that's what you are. You're a blessing to everybody in your life when you just love you first. Then you have something to give. So I want for you nothing but love. That's all I want. It's all the blocks to the love in you to be removed. That's it. Period. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. All right. You should give it to each other. People up in here. Wow. Oh, I know there's some bodies. There are bodies in here that's so juicy that make you want to overlook the content, but don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you dare do it. I've learned over the years to just voluntarily say yes at the beginning, because I find myself saying yes at the end. You were right. So now with spirit, I go, I don't understand what the heck you're asking of me, but I'm going to go ahead and do it, because I've seen over and over again that the truth is the truth, and the stuff that I learned from the world isn't. Over and over again. It's like, when am I going to get it? My plan doesn't work. And so the Course says, I'm going to do one more minute, we'll be through. My plan is always, what is it outside of me that needs to change for me to be happy? Spirit's plan is for me to ask Spirit. What? Yeah, God's plan is that you ask God. The Creator's plan is that you finally say, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to say? Who do you want me to say it to?
Yeah.
That's the divine plan. It's for you to start asking questions as if your Creator does actually exist. And your plan is always to come up with whatever it is outside of yourself that needs to change, who needs to act differently, who needs to speak differently, what's the new place you need to be. So your plan is always trying to change stuff outside of yourself that you don't seem to have any control over, which is why you fail pathetically. Or to just ask the Creator of all things what to do and watch it be given to you in ease and joy and harmony. If you love yourself, you go for the ease and harmony. If you're punishing yourself, you'll never go for the ease and harmony because you've decided that punishment is the solution. So then you're looking for somebody to hurt yourself through. You're looking for something to make yourself miserable through so that you can give yourself the punishment that a guilty person deserves. So guilty people are threatened by innocence. Innocent people are threatened by the idea of guilt.
Wow.
So to a person who meets guilt and sin, I am Satan in a beautiful black body. So let's just take a minute before we go out into the dream. Before we go out into the dream, nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. And tell yourself, love which created me is what I am. Love which created me is what I am. Love which created me is what I am. Love which created me is what. Now here's the power part. And I'm juicy. And I'm juicy. And I am cute. I am cute. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am rich. I am rich. I am rich. I am rich. I am innocent. I am innocent. I deserve love. I deserve love. I love myself. I love myself. Even if I forget. Even if I forget. I love myself. I love myself. Even if I forget. Even if I forget. I love myself. Would you give it up, Holy Spirit? He loud for you. Give it up for you. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hugs are available. I'll see you the next time I see you. I promise.